Have you ever stood in the middle of a silent night, staring at the ceiling, and asked yourself, why haven't I become the person I once dreamed of? Have you ever felt your heart ignite with a powerful dream, only to extinguish it with two familiar words? Tomorrow? The story you are about to hear is not just a story. It is a mirror reflecting the soul of countless people. A story of ambition, procrastination, and the journey of awakening. In a distant countryside where endless fields stretched toward the horizon and dusty roads curled around the feet of silent mountains, there lived a young man named Oliver. He was 27 years old, with bright eyes and a face always filled with thoughts of the future. Every day, Oliver spoke passionately about the life he wanted. One day, I will leave this village and build a great farm of my own. My crops will travel across the country. I will build my mother a beautiful house, and she will never have to suffer again. The villagers nodded in admiration. Everyone could see Oliver's big dreams and his desire to change his fate. But as time passed, nothing changed. His land remained overgrown with weeds. His small house continued to creak under the weight of rain and wind. And Oliver still sat beneath the old banyan tree, talking about a future that never seemed to begin. Every morning, when the rooster crowed and the village awoke to the rhythm of labor, people walked out into the fields with tools in hand. Oliver, however, remained wrapped in his blanket, whispering to himself, "I'm too tired today. I'll start tomorrow." And his tomorrow stretched endlessly, like a road with no end. One afternoon, as gentle rain fell upon the earth, a mysterious old man appeared at Oliver's door. His hair was white as mist, his cloak worn by time, and his eyes were deep with wisdom. He asked for a bowl of water. Oliver reluctantly handed it to him, then asked, curious, "Where are you from?" The old man smiled softly. "I am a traveler who searches for those who dream, but never dare to live for those dreams." His words struck Oliver deeply. The old man gazed at the weed-covered land and spoke slowly. "You speak of the future, yet abandon the present. You are like a keeper of treasure who never opens the gate." Oliver forced a weak laugh. "I'm just waiting for the right time." The old man shook his head and pulled out a small cloth bag. Inside were 3 unique seeds. He placed them into Oliver's hand. "The first is the seed of hope. Care for it daily, and it will bloom into a path of success. The second is the seed of fear. It grows when you doubt yourself and binds you with hesitation. The third is the seed of delay. It needs no care, yet it will silently spread and suffocate every dream you hold. You may choose which one to nurture, or let them grow on their own." With that, the old man vanished into the rain, leaving only silence and trembling thoughts behind. Oliver placed the seeds into a drawer and whispered, "Tomorrow, I will begin." 1 day passed, then 2, a week, a month. The drawer remained closed, the field remained wild, and Oliver remained imprisoned by promises he never kept. One night, Oliver had a strange dream. He found himself standing in a dark garden. But this was no ordinary garden. Weeds towered high, thorny vines tangled around his legs, and 3 trees stood before him. One tree was small, pale, and trembling. Another was twisted and gray, clinging desperately to the earth. The third was black and spreading, consuming everything around it. A voice echoed through the silence. "This is the garden of your soul." The voice continued. "The weak tree is hope. It fades because you neglect it. The gray tree is fear. It grows from doubt. And the dark tree is delay. It feeds on your inaction and devours your future. Oliver fell to his knees, his hand trembling as he touched the fragile tree of hope. "Have I gone too far?" he whispered. "Not yet," replied the voice. "But if you do not act now, this garden will die." He woke abruptly, sweat on his forehead, heart pounding like a warning bell. Without hesitation, he opened the drawer and held the small bag tightly in his hand. For the first time in years, Oliver stepped outside before sunrise. He rolled up his sleeves, grasped his tools, and began pulling the weeds from his land. The work was painful. His back ached, his hands bled, but he did not stop. He planted the seed of hope at the center of the field and watered it every single day. He buried the other 2 seeds deep into the ground and whispered, "From this day forward, fear and delay will no longer control my life." The early days were the hardest. Laziness called to him. Comfort tempted him to return to his bed. But Oliver remembered the dream, the dying tree, and the warning voice. Days turned into months, months into years. From that tiny seed grew a strong, vibrant plant. Its leaves danced in the wind as though whispering encouragement. Oliver changed too. His skin grew rough from the sun. His hands hardened from labor. But his eyes shone with quiet determination. The villagers began to notice. Oliver has changed. He no longer speaks of dreams. He lives them. Years later, where wild weeds once ruled, now stretched a flourishing garden of life and abundance. Trees heavy with fruit, flowers glowing with color, all standing as proof of a soul reborn. One evening, bathed in amber light, the old man returned. He looked at Oliver, now confident and grounded, and smiled. "You have finally learned how to sow your life wisely." Oliver bowed gently. "I understand now. Dreams are not meant to be spoken. They are meant to be lived." The old man nodded. "Remember this. Every soul holds a garden. Each day you choose what grows within it, hope or delay." And with that, he faded into the golden mist. Oliver stood silently, gazing across his thriving land. He knew the journey would never truly end, for each day he would still have to water his dreams and pull the weeds of doubt and procrastination. And you, dear listener, what does the garden inside your heart look like? A seed of your future is waiting, but it will never grow if you only promise yourself tomorrow. Do not let your life fade away within 2 simple words: tomorrow. Because dreams do not die from hardship. Dreams die from delay. And only you, in this very moment, can decide whether your inner garden will bloom or wither away in the wind.